I really miss my TF2. I wish I had the guts to even open it again, but I just can't, not after that. It all started around 3 days ago. I was having fun with the Halloween event when suddenly my IRL friend calls me on Steam. He is Brazilian as well, so this is just a rough translation of our conversation. Friend: Hey Leo, my IRL nickname. Are you there? Me: Yep. Why? Friend: I need you to look into something. Me: what exactly? Friend: You see, there is something wrong with my Team Fortress 2. Me: I'm B Weps. Friend: What? Me: Never mind. Friend: Anyway, it's all crap. It's all effed up. Me: Texture glitches? Friend: I don't know what to call it anymore. You have to see it for yourself. Me: Screens? Friend: No, I tried uploading some, it just didn't work. Me: Weird. Just do it on your PC. Me: Oh, as long as I don't require any disks. DLS. Friend: No, just go to your loadout screen, equip the mackerel, then the mackerel again, then the Sandman. Me, must be awkward graphical glitches. Me: Wait, I don't have a mackerel. Friend: I would give you mine if I could. Me: I'll see what I can do. Thanks for telling me. Friend: Thanks for listening, and I'm sorry for telling you. As I was about to ask him what he meant, he disconnected. That was one hell of a weird conversation. Though it wouldn't have been had I gone in time to warn myself. At the end of the conversation, I was thinking my friend was a major noob that found some fancy graphical glitch and wanted to show me. What was, however, bugging me was the tone of the conversation. You may read it as your average dialogue, but my friend was the kind that would almost always type in some smiles. This time there were none. Something seemed off. I had to try it anyway, so I disconnected, crafted a mackerel, and went to try the glitch. I carefully did the steps. Mackerel, bat, mackerel, Sandman. As I clicked the Sandman, my screen suddenly froze. It was rather unusual since I played on my brand new high-end PC, but I knew TF2 had the tendency to lag, so I just ignored it. That's when an ear-bursting beep came out of my earbuds. It was around 2 a.m. and I pretty much flew out of my chair. That's when TF2 returned to normal, or at least I thought so. The first thing I noticed was that all the loadout slots were gone. It was just a dark gray background with two gray buttons below. All text was gone. Then I noticed the scout was looking at me. His eyes had no pupils and there was no gun in his hands. I remember having these sorts of glitches when I used DX8.1, so it was no big surprise. I clicked the button, I guess that was back. The class loadout screen was glitched, just like the previous screen. All icons below classes were gone. All the classes' icons were upside down. They also wouldn't zoom in if you moused them over, as usual. I pressed escape since the close button wasn't there. And what came up was what finally alerted me this was not just another graphical glitch. The title screen was the boldest title screen I'd ever seen. It was just a black screen with the words Team Fortress 2 written in white at the top of the screen. It wasn't in Team Fortress 2 theme font, but rather Times New Roman. It was rushed out something. Below it were three options: play, options, and quit. As I was kinda late, I had to sleep. I decided just to jump to play. As the server browsed open, my subconscious was already starting to realize what I was getting into. I suddenly felt a rear. I never thought I would ever feel, irrational or not. I was shocked when I could only find one single server. Minutes ago, It found over 2,000 servers, so how could it find only one now? I checked the filter and they were all turned off. Turning any of them on would make the server disappear from the list. What crept me out the most were the details of this single server. The name of the server was just Team Fortress, so I instantly suggested it was a listen server. The game tab was empty. The player count was 1 of 14. The map was just Manor. It was written like that, not CP underdash Manor underdash event, just Manor. And the ping was 10. That's what I call a ping, I whispered to myself. I kept staring at the player count for 30 seconds. I was trying to figure out what was someone doing there, lonely, on a remote server, isolated from the player base. I reluctantly entered the server. The loading bar was just a long white stripe with no text. It connected. I wasn't greeted by the usual blackboard welcome. Instead, it just went straight to the class selection screen. I had just crafted the horseman's head taker, and I really wanted to try it out, so I instantly chose demo. I spawned as a blue demo, but in the middle of the map I also had a no weapon. I checked on the score. My name was the only one there, but there was no one in red, neither in spec. Wasn't there supposed to be someone here? I opened up the server and browsed again, and now the player count was 214. The name of the server suddenly switched to Get Out. I got freaked out by that one, but kept going. Before even moving from the odd place I spawned, I typed, "Who are you?" I got no answer. I just suppose he didn't speak English and casually walked out. That's when my demo suddenly burst into flames at first. I burst into flames. At first, I thought he was just a lone pyro. But that's when, with a scream of agony I'd never heard from any demo man before, he blew up. At this point, I was already scared to death, so I quickly disconnected. The server browser automatically opened a few minutes after my scare quit. This time the name of the server was Come Back, I Want You. I decided to step up and go in again, now prepared for anything. As it connected for the second time, it just skipped everything and opened fully connected. I spawned as demo with no weapons again. The location, however, was different. I spawned over the gap around the third CP, instantly falling to death. As I waited to respawn, the camera went to a fairly odd looking place I've never seen before. All I could see was a large white stripe with red and blue stripe next to it, one on each side. The place I respawned was the bottom of the well for me. It was dark, disturbing room with a single locker and the right of the exit. I had already played quite a few matches on the map, but I didn't remember ever seeing such a room. When I walked out, all I could see was a bright white, like what you see when you walk out of bounds on some maps. After roaming around the vast white desert for a while, something appeared on the chat box. You are good to go. It had no player name behind it, but it couldn't be any mod or plugin. I was already losing my sanity. Nothing of it was all that creepy. But it was just so off that it was creeping the hell out of me. Right after the message came up, I saw a steel gate in the distance. I walked all the way up to it and quickly got in. I didn't even think twice. I just wanted to get this over with. What I saw then, I walked into and scared my mind so deeply that it's like I see it every time I dare think of the words Team Fortress 2. All of the classes on both teams hung. Their mangled faces looked at me, with their limbs missing. Between the teams was a large white stripe with a small, and the respective teams forming a large hallway. So that's what I saw while respawning. That's where the camera was, still in first person as a demo man. every time I looked at the hanged image, the screen started to get grainy, and an image would start slowly fading into my screen until I looked away. It changed each time I looked, but as far as I could tell, they were all mangled bodies. As the image fully formed for the fourth time, it covered my entire screen and kept staring at me for around 5 seconds after it abruptly disappeared. And when I looked at the hallway again, all the bodies had disappeared. It then froze again, and I could see only one last message in the chat box before I lost connection. Why? After disconnecting, I checked the server browser for one last time. The server had just vanished. TF2. If I can call it that. Then closed itself. I opened up Steam and saw there was a new update for Team Fortress 2. It was simply called Fixed. I knew what that meant, but still found it unsettling. I wasn't able to sleep that night, so I just spent the night playing on other games. Anything but FPSs. Next morning, I asked my friend what the fuck was that. He said he hadn't logged on Steam for about a week. Since then, I haven't played Team Fortress 2. I was unsure about what to do, so I decided to note this down and post it on TF2's SPUF, just to spread the word. I can't sleep, I'm not eating or drinking well, and I can't step outside my apartment. Whatever that was, it still haunts me. I see it in the corner of my eyes inside my PC at the street outside my building. It's there. I'm sure.